Something is about to enter your life, and it will change everything you thought you knew. Pause for a moment and feel that, because this, right now, is not a coincidence. You didn't just stumble across this message by accident. Out of all the videos, out of all the noise, out of everything competing for your attention, this is what you were led to. And deep down you already feel it, don't you? That quiet pull in your spirit, that whisper you can't quite explain. God brought you here for a reason. There is a shift happening in your life, something you cannot fully see yet, but you can sense it. It's been building for a while. In the way things have been falling apart and strangely falling into place at the same time. In the doors that closed unexpectedly, and the ones that refused to open, no matter how hard you tried. You thought it was rejection, you thought it was delay. But what if it was preparation? Because you are not like everyone else. You've always felt different, set apart. Even when you tried to blend in, something about your spirit refused to shrink. You've been through battles you never talk about. You've carried burdens that would have broken other people. And yet, here you are, still standing, still searching, still holding on to something you can't even fully describe. That's not by accident. You were chosen for something bigger, and now, that something is getting closer. There is a person, a powerful person, who is about to cross your path, not just powerful in status or influence, but powerful in purpose. Someone who carries access, opportunity, and a door that has your name written on it. And when they appear, it won't feel random. There will be a strange sense of familiarity, like your spirit recognizes them before your mind can catch up. But here's what you need to understand. Not every blessing arrives wrapped in comfort. Sometimes, the very thing you prayed for shows up in a form that challenges you, tests you, forces you to confront parts of yourself you've been avoiding. This person and the offer they bring will not just elevate you, it will stretch you. And that's why you had to go through everything you've been through, every delay, every disappointment, every moment you felt overlooked or forgotten. It was shaping you, strengthening your discernment, teaching you patience, building a foundations. So when this moment comes, you won't collapse under the weight of it. Because, make no mistake, this is big, bigger than you expect. The kind of moment that separates who you were from who you are about to become. But here's the tension, the part most people don't talk about. When this offer comes, it won't just feel like an opportunity. It will feel like a decision, a crossroads, a moment where you have to choose between staying where it's safe or stepping into something unknown, something that requires faith at a level you've never reached before. And that's where many people hesitate, because it's one thing to pray for change, and another thing entirely to recognize it when it arrives. This message is here to prepare you, to wake you up before the moment comes, to remind you that what's approaching your life is not random, not luck, not coincidence, but divine alignment. The kind of alignment that only happens when God decides it's time. And the truth is, you've been closer than you think. You felt it in your restless nights, in the sudden shifts in your thoughts, in that unexplainable feeling that something is about to happen. You tried to ignore it. You tried to stay grounded in what you can see, But your spirit keeps telling you, get ready. Because once this person enters your life, nothing will be the same again. The question is not whether they are coming. The question is, will you be ready to receive what they bring? Will you recognize the moment, or will fear disguise it? Will you step forward, or will doubt hold you back? This is your warning and your confirmation. God brought you here for a reason. You have no idea yet who is coming, but what they carry will test everything within you. This moment didn't start today. It was set in motion long before you realized it. Long before you clicked on this video. Long before the confusion, the pain, the waiting. There was already a plan unfolding over your life. Every step you've taken, even the ones that felt like mistakes, were quietly aligning you with something greater. Nothing you've been through was wasted. Think about it. The moments when you felt completely alone, when it seemed like nobody understood you. The times you tried to explain what you were feeling, but the words never came out, right or worse. People dismissed you, like you were imagining things. That isolation wasn't there to break you. It was there to separate you. Because being chosen often feels like being set apart. You've walked through seasons where you didn't fit in anywhere. Too deep for shallow conversations. Too aware to go along with what everyone else accepted. You saw things others ignored. You felt things others couldn't explain. And for a long time, you probably wondered, why me? Why does it have to be this way? But now, you're starting to understand. It had to be this way, because where you're going, not everyone can go. The struggles you faced weren't random attacks on your life. They were training. Every disappointment sharpened your discernment. Every betrayal taught you who to trust. And more importantly, who not to trust. Every delay built patience inside you. Even when you felt like giving up, you were being prepared for something that requires strength most people don't have. And that's why this opportunity, this powerful person, is coming to you. Not to someone else. Not to the people who took shortcuts. Not to those who gave up when things got hard. But to you, the one who endured, who questioned, who kept going. Even when nothing made sense. Because you've been forged in a different kind of fire. There were nights when you felt like everything was falling apart. But in reality, everything was being rearranged. You lost things you thought you needed, only to realize, later, they would have held you back. You were redirected, delayed, even denied. Not because you weren't worthy, but because you weren't ready yet. And timing, divine timing, is everything. If this opportunity had come earlier, it would have overwhelmed you. If this person had entered your life before now, you might not have recognized their significance. You might have doubted it, sabotaged it, or walked away from it out of fear. But now you're different. You've grown in ways that can't always be seen from the outside. Your mindset has shifted. Your awareness has deepened. You've started to see patterns, to understand that there's something bigger guiding your life. And even though you still have questions, even though you don't have all the answers, you feel it, that sense that something is about to happen, that you're standing on the edge of a moment that will redefine everything. And here's the truth most people won't tell you. The more significant the calling, the more intense the the preparation. That's why your journey felt heavier than others. That's why you were tested in ways that didn't seem fair, because what's coming into your life isn't small, it's not ordinary. It's the kind of opportunity that can elevate you or expose you, depending on how ready you are to receive it. And readiness isn't just about skill or talent. It's about your heart. It's about whether you've learned to trust God, even when things didn't go your way. Whether you've developed the discipline to stay grounded when emotions try to take over. Whether you've built the courage to step forward, even when fear is whispering in your ear. Because when this moment arrives, it won't wait for you to feel completely ready. It will simply appear. And everything inside you, your past, your growth, your faith, will come together in that one decision. This is why you had to go through what you went through, not to punish you, but to prepare you. Not to break you, but to build you into someone who can handle what's coming. So if you've ever felt like your life didn't make sense, like the pieces didn't fit together, understand this now. They were never meant to make sense back then. They were meant to make sense now, because now you can see it. Now you can feel it. Now you can recognize that something has been guiding you all along, and it's leading you to this moment. The truth is, this offer is not just a blessing, it's also a decision that could change your path forever. Not every opportunity is sent to reward you. Some are sent to reveal who you truly are, and this is where everything shifts. Because the moment you've been waiting for, the opportunity you've been praying for, carries something deeper than success, deeper than recognition, deeper than elevation. It carries a test, not the kind of test you prepare for with logic or strategy, but the kind that reaches into your spirit and asks, who are you, really? When this powerful person steps into your life, when the offer is placed in front of you, it won't just shine with promise. It will also carry pressure, a weight, a quiet tension that forces you to pause and look within, because not everything that looks right is right, and not everything that feels good is aligned with your purpose. This is where many people get it wrong. They think the arrival of opportunity means automatic blessing, that if a door opens, it must be from God. But what if the door is there to see whether you'll walk through it blindly, or whether you've developed the discernment to question it? You see, temptation doesn't always come in obvious forms. Sometimes it looks like the very thing you asked for, an opportunity that seems too perfect, too easy, too aligned with your desires. It speaks your language. It mirrors your dreams. It makes you feel seen, chosen, elevated. But beneath the surface, there's a deeper question being asked. Will you choose what looks good, or what is good? Will you be led by emotion, or anchored in purpose? Because this offer, as powerful as it is, will challenge your character. It will test your patience. It will test your integrity. It will test whether you're willing to compromise. The very things you said you would never compromise, just to step into something bigger. And the truth is, not every elevation is meant for you. Some paths lead upward, but away from who you're called to be. That's why this moment is so critical, because it's not just about what's being offered to you. It's about what the offer is asking from you. Will it require you to move too fast without clarity? Will it pressure you to ignore that quiet voice inside you? Will it ask you to trade long-term purpose for short-term gain? These are the questions that will rise to the surface, and in that moment, everything you've been through will matter. Every lesson, every hardship, every time you were forced to slow down, to reflect, to grow, it was all building your ability to stand in a moment like this and not be shaken, because discernment is not just about recognizing what's wrong. It's about having the courage to walk away from what almost feels right. And that takes strength. The kind of strength you only develop through struggle. You didn't go through all those lonely seasons just to fall into something that looks good on the outside, but drains you on the inside. You didn't fight your way through confusion, doubt, and delay just to lose yourself the moment something shiny appears. No, there's more at stake here. This is about alignment. This is about whether your actions match the calling on your life. Because when something truly comes from God, it may stretch you, it may challenge you, it may even scare you, but it will not pull you away from your core. It will not force you to betray your values. It will not silence your spirit. Instead, it will confirm something deep within you, even if your mind is still catching up. So when this moment comes, and it will come, you have to be still enough to listen, not to the noise around you, not to the excitement, the pressure, or the fear, but to that quiet, steady voice within you that says, this is right, or this is not for you, because the test is not whether you can accept the offer. The test is whether you should, and that's a much harder question to answer. This is where your faith becomes real, not in what you say, but in what you choose, not in what you hope for, but in what you're willing to walk away from, because sometimes the greatest act of faith is not stepping into something. It's having the strength to say no and trusting that what is truly meant for you will never require you to become someone you're not. So don't be blinded by the surface. Don't be rushed by the moment. Don't be distracted by what it looks like. Look deeper, feel deeper, discern deeper, because what's in front of you is not just an opportunity. It's a mirror reflecting back your growth, your readiness, your truth. What looks like a breakthrough might actually be the moment that defines who you become. The difference between destiny and distraction is something only a chosen one can feel. It's not always loud. It's not always obvious. In fact, most of the time, it's quiet, subtle, almost easy to miss if you're not paying attention. Because the truth is, recognition doesn't start with what you see. It starts with what you feel. There is a kind of awareness inside you that has been growing through every experience you've had. Through the pain, the waiting, the confusion. You've been developing something deeper than knowledge. You've been developing spiritual sensitivity. That quiet inner knowing. That's not your imagination. That's your discernment. And when this offer comes, when this powerful person stands in front of you, you won't need everything to make sense immediately. There will be something deeper, guiding you, a signal that doesn't come from logic, but from alignment. Because when something is truly from God, it carries peace. Not the kind of peace that removes all fear, but the kind that remains even when fear is present. a steady calm beneath the surface, a grounding that says, even if I don't understand everything, this feels right. It won't rush you. It won't pressure you. It won't demand that you abandon who you are just to accept it. Instead, it will invite you, gently, clearly, with a sense of purpose that feels anchored, not chaotic. But distractions feel different. They may look exciting on the outside. They may come with urgency, with pressure, with the feeling that if you don't act now, you'll miss everything. They often appeal to your emotions first, your desire to be seen, to be valued, to finally step into something bigger. But underneath that excitement, there's unease, a subtle discomfort that's easy to ignore if you're too focused on the surface, a feeling that something is slightly off, even if you can't explain why. And that's the moment where many people disconnect from themselves. They override that feeling. They silence that inner voice. They convince themselves that what they're sensing doesn't matter, because the opportunity looks too good to question. But you're not called to move like that. You're called to be still enough to notice the difference, to sit with the moment, not rush through it, to ask yourself deeper questions. Does this align with who I'm becoming? Or does it pull me back into who I used to be? Does this bring clarity or confusion? Does this strengthen my connection with God, or distract me from it? Because anything that is truly meant for you will not require you to disconnect from your source. It will deepen that connection. It will draw you closer, not further away. And sometimes the answer won't come instantly. Sometimes you'll need to step back to pray, to reflect, to create space between you and the noise, so you can actually hear what your spirit is saying, because clarity doesn't come in chaos. It comes in stillness. That's why this moment is not just about recognition. It's about discipline. The discipline to pause when everything in you wants to move. The discipline to listen when everything around you is speaking. The discipline to trust what you feel, even when it doesn't match what you expected. Because being chosen isn't just about receiving opportunities. It's about navigating them with wisdom, and wisdom comes from your connection with God, not from pressure, not from fear, not from the need to prove anything to anyone. So when this offer arrives, don't look at it the way the world would. Don't measure it only by what it promises on the outside. Look at what it does within you. Does it settle your spirit or stir your anxiety? Does it align with your values or challenge you to compromise them? Does it feel like a step forward in your purpose, or a detour that only looks like progress? These are the signs. Not loud, not flashy, but clear, if you're willing to see them. And the more honest you are with yourself, the clearer it becomes, because deep down, you already know. You've been prepared for this. Your awareness has been sharpened for this exact reason. So trust it. Trust what God has been building inside you all along. Because the difference between destiny and distraction is not something you figure out at the last second. It's something you feel when you're connected, grounded, and ready. In the next moment, everything will become clear, but only if you're ready to see it. You were never meant to live an ordinary life, and this moment proves it. Everything you felt up until now, every nudge, every delay, every quiet whisper in your spirit. It was all pointing here, not to confuse you, not to overwhelm you, but to prepare you to recognize what this moment truly is. Because the powerful person you've been sensing is not just someone with influence or status. They are a vessel, a messenger, positioned in your path at the exact right time, carrying access, insight, and an opportunity that connects directly to your purpose. They are not random, they are not accidental. Their presence in your life is part of a bigger design, one that has been unfolding long before you ever saw the signs. And the offer, it's more than an opportunity. It's an invitation to step into a higher version of yourself, to move beyond the limits that once defined you, to walk into spaces you once thought were out of reach. But more importantly, it's an invitation to trust God at a deeper level than ever before. Because this isn't just about what you will gain, it's about who you will become. That's the deeper meaning. This moment is not here to simply change your circumstances. It's here to transform your identity, to pull you out of the old mindset, the old fears, the old patterns that no longer align with where you're being called. And yes, it will require something from you. Faith, when you don't have all the answers. Patience, when things don't unfold instantly. Courage, when stepping forward feels uncomfortable. But you wouldn't be here if you weren't ready. That's what you need to understand right now. You didn't survive everything you've been through just to stop at the edge of your breakthrough. You didn't endure the confusion, the loneliness, the waiting, just to doubt yourself when it finally starts to make sense. No, you were built for this, chosen for this guide every step of the way, even in moments when you felt completely lost. And even now, as you're listening to these words, there is something inside you that recognizes the truth, not because it's loud, not because it's obvious, but because it resonates. That's how you know. God doesn't need to shout to get your attention. He places things in your spirit that you can't ignore. So as this moment unfolds, don't shrink back. Don't question your worth. Don't let fear convince you that you're not ready. You are, and even if you feel uncertain, even if you don't see the full picture yet, take the step anyway. Not blindly, but faithfully. Not recklessly, but with the awareness you've built through every experience. Because when something is truly aligned with your purpose, it won't just change your life. It will confirm it. It will remind you of who you've always been, beneath the doubt, beneath the fear, beneath the waiting. Someone chosen, someone called, someone positioned for more. So stand in that truth, walk in that confidence, and trust that the same God who brought you to this moment will carry you through it. If this message spoke to your spirit, if you felt that confirmation deep within you, take a second right now and comment Amen to declare that you're ready. Subscribe to this channel so you don't miss what's coming next. And like and share this message with someone who needs to hear it. Because this isn't just your moment. It's the beginning of everything you've been prepared for. And once you step into it, there is no going back to who you used to be.